welcome to Lety Does Passengers. So, if you look carefully, you may notice that it is dark outside and that I am outside. And the reason for that is because my local movie theater's tickets are a lot cheaper at night, like $6. So I'm walking to the movie theater right now and I'm gonna go see Passengers starring Chris Pratt and Jennifer Lawrence, if you're wondering why I'm watching it. I heard that, well, from the trailers, I can see that I guess they're on some kind of space cruise and they wake up too early, so they're going to die. But it's all okay though, because it looks like, you know, the spaceship is gonna crash and everyone is going to die anyway. And they have to save everyone, and I don't even know. So yeah, there's a movie theater. I'm about to walk up in there and I will go watch it and then be right back with the review. So stay tuned for that. So yeah, the movie just ended. I don't even know what the heck to think. I'm just like, what the fuck right now? Trying to walk down these steps, hoping I don't fall. Oh my god. The performances were so good, but what the hell? Right? Alright, where the heck is the bin for the... Okay, guess it's not here. Ah, it's bright. Ugh. Okay. Yeah, I know. Really cool, right? Glasses on glasses. So it's not like, what, 1 a.m.? Where's the exit? I'm all discombobulated. Alright. Alright, gotta get out of here. I'll talk to you some more outside. Ugh. And we're back! Ugh, it's cold outside. Oh my gosh. Okay.
Oh, Hobo, have you been a good girl? Play in here for a little bit.
Okay. So, I actually didn't think this far ahead into what I do for this video. So, I kind of figured things out along the way as I was driving home. I was like, hey, why don't I summarize the movie? Because I'm not great at summarizing things, so this should be fun. Shh. Oh, are you lonely? Oh, I'm sorry. You don't need playtime, you need love? Oh, okay. By the way, if you want to avoid spoilers, well, you probably shouldn't be watching this video then. Anyway, so the movie starts out with the ship going to a new planet and it's carrying a whole bunch of passengers to populate it. And it's going through an asteroid field and it hits one of the asteroids too hard and sends an electrical surge that wakes up Chris Pratt's character and does other damage on the ship. But wakes up Chris Pratt's character. He doesn't know that he's the only one that's awake, so he goes happy until he realizes that he actually woke up 90 years too early and that if he doesn't get back to sleep, he is going to die. So he works for like 8 months just trying to get back to sleep using his engineering skills, and that doesn't quite work out. So one day he's super depressed, he's about to go off himself, and he comes across Aurora, which is Jennifer Lawrence's character, and he pretty much becomes obsessed with her. Obsessed with her. He watches her entry video, and she's a writer, so he reads everything she ever wrote, before ultimately deciding that he is willing to kill one other person in order not to be alone. So he wakes her up too. And he lies to her and tells her that it was another electrical surge that woke her up. So she goes on, you know, trying to get back to sleep as well, and eventually accepts fate and falls in love with Jim, which is Chris Pratt's character. And as the day comes that Chris Pratt's character wants to propose to Aurora, the android bartender, Arthur, that he had been talking to the whole time before he woke Aurora up, spills the beans that it was actually Jim that woke Aurora up. And she's pissed, and she deserves to be, and she pretty much ignores him. Until one day, there's another power surge that wakes up one of the crew members, which is played by Lawrence Fishburne, and he is trying to help them find out what is wrong with the ship because everything is breaking. So he's woken up from his hibernation, and they're trying to figure out what's wrong, but the problem is he was woken up incorrectly and his organs are failing and his muscles are failing. He's dying. And they kind of need him because he had the clearance to go into the restricted areas, but, you know, eventually he dies and gives them his clearance card, to which they use to eventually find out that the problem is that one of the little asteroids went inside of the ship and actually made a hole in the power core, and now it can't cool down, it can't vent. So they try to vent it, with Chris Pratt's character needing to go outside to manually open the vent. And it's a success for the most part. They release the energy, but he gets thrown out into space. And, you know, Aurora goes to save him, but he dies. And she brings him back in and puts him inside of the medical bay that tells her he had died. She is frantic and she presses all the resuscitation buttons and then uses Lawrence Fishburne's card to pass the clearance on doing all of them, and he's brought back to life. He tells her that there is an option that he noticed that allows you to put a patient that's inside of the machine into essentially a hibernation stage, and offers her if she wants to go to sleep again. And then we cut to 90 years later, when all the crew members are waking up and they see that there's vegetation all over the ship, and that Aurora had written a book regarding her travels on the ship and what had happened, signaling that she chose to stay alive, or stay awake, and die with Chris Pratt's character. So it was kind of touching. And that's how it ends. And everyone makes it to the, planet, but that's not the point. So yeah, maybe that made sense. Whatever. Anyway, the movie itself was really good in regards to visuals. Like, it looked so good at some parts. The ship looked awesome. I loved the design for the elevator, and I know that's super stupid, but it looks cool. It's all lit up and shit. And then the pool, I like the pool scene. They have a pool that goes out looking into space. Pretty much all the features that they had on the ship and that they went in detail to show was amazing. And they did a very good job at it. And I particularly liked when they have to go to the cafeteria and there's this machine. It's just a giant food dispenser and you push a button and food comes out. And I want one of those for me in real life. So I loved that, and I just freaked out at that. Even though I really shouldn't have, because it's just a food dispenser. But it was cool looking. That's the point. The acting was amazing. As it usually is for the cast that was given. Lawrence Fishburne's character wasn't in there for a long time, but I feel like he left an impact. I felt sad when he died, and he was only in there for like most 15 minutes? Less than 15 minutes? But I felt sad. And then in the beginning, Chris Pratt's acting makes us feel bad for him that he went in this, you know, he had to go through this unfortunate situation. He didn't even do anything. And, you know, he was completely okay with killing Aurora for the sake of not being alone. And he even selected her and, like, in a way, stalked her. He would watch her sleep and talk to her in her sleep. Now, that was fucking creepy. And we knew it was fucking creepy. But we also felt bad that his only friend was an android and that he wanted love and that he found love. So then we, like, sympathized with him. And I felt like it might be empathy. If it was me stuck there and I got really lonely, what would I do? So, you know, I feel like the movie did a really good job of kind of pressing that line of what is morally okay and what a human can handle. And honestly, their relationship was going really well when she didn't know it was him that woke her up. And then, like, the viewer kind of forgets that it's really bad until she finds out and she freaks out. And then I felt guilty, like, uh-oh, this was all a lie and I was supposed to think it was wrong, but they were just so cute together. So, yeah, the filming style made it feel certain scenes were very lonely and certain scenes were very sad because they just focused on the single character or they panned out and you see him alone. But it all worked out in the end. She chose to stay with him. Her kidnapper Stockholm syndromed into loving him after he killed her, essentially. She had the option to go back to sleep, she just didn't, so I don't know. I had mixed emotions about this. If you check the reviews for it online, it didn't do too great, and that's probably because of what I mentioned. And the fact that I think Chris Pratt's character probably would have been fucking dead if he was left out there. No amount of using the defibrillator on him or whatever the hell the machine did would bring him back to life. That dude was dead. But, you know, they had to bring him back to life in order to keep the story moving for the last bit. So, I think it's the type of movie that you watch once just to see how nice everything is and to have that little weird guilt feeling. But to watch it again on my own for pleasure, maybe not. But I'll watch it with a friend who hasn't seen it before just so I can see what they think. But, you know, Chris Pratt, Jennifer Lawrence, Lawrence Fisherberg, it's like, I kind of had to watch it at least once. So, oh hey, you're back. Perfect. Just in time. I need to borrow you one more time, buddy. Buddy, old pal. My best friend. Oh, I'm sorry. So yeah, even though it didn't get great ratings, I rate this movie 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Well, I liked it, so I'll rate it 6. 6 out of 10 hobos. 6 out of 10 upset hobos. I'll put you back, I'm sorry. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye! Hey everyone, you can subscribe to my channel by clicking that circle button up there, or you can check out some more videos over here, and you can also see my Patreon right down there where I'll be giving away cool prizes every month, so check that out. Boogow! I scared you.